174, and as you can probably see behind our action area graphics there has been some more trouble following the final whistle. We can find out now exactly what's happened with George Gavin.
Yes, Russ, disgraceful scenes at the end of the match, really stuff you don't want to see again happening at football grounds. As the teams were coming off, especially the Bristol Rovers team, they were filtering off down towards the tunnel when the crowd spilled off the terraces, off the seats, and chased the Bristol Rovers team. You can see it there down the tunnel. One or two at least of the Bristol Rovers team were kicked as they came up that tunnel. And Ian Holloway, the player manager for Bristol Rovers, sought out Joe Jordan to say, for God's sake, Joe, sort this out, it's terrible. Now, two players, we understand, are still not in the dressing room yet from Bristol Rovers. So we're trying to find two of the players who haven't come in yet. Perhaps they're still out on the field. In fact, there they are now. Now, they went towards the old tunnel, we understand, which is by the dugouts, to escape the crowd. Now, guarded by stewards, they're making their way to the dressing room area. Disgraceful scenes. Not the kind of stuff you want to see on a football ground ever again, really. And as I say, Ian Holloway was seeking out Joe Jordan to say, for God's sake, Joe, sort this out. And as I was ready to come to talk to you, Russ, two of the hooligans were ejected past me, bundled out, right past me, and out the door, arrested. But as I say, scenes you don't want to see, and you don't really want to talk about ever again.
OK, thanks, George. Terrible scenes there at the Bristol derby today. Russell,
yeah,
what can you say?
Well, what can you say? You know, we've seen it there. It's such a shame because Bristol City as a club are trying to do everything right. They're trying to promote the club. Both clubs are trying to promote football in the West Country. It's been a great game. You know, there's nothing adverse going on the pitch today. Players have got stuck in like they would in a local derby, but nothing really that needed to incite the crowd like that. You know, the crowd's just been out of order.
John, chasing the opposing players off the pitch, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything so disgraceful for a long while at an English football ground.
No, I haven't. I think it is a disgrace, as you quite rightly say. But unfortunately, the same thing happened a little bit last season. We went there, we won 2-0, scored 2 goals in the last 10-12 minutes, and unfortunately from the same corner of the ground, the same sort of situation happened, although they didn't come on after the game, as they've just done today. But like I say, it's totally unacceptable, and I'm sure they'll be very upset at Bristol City about that.
Yeah. We've had some wonderful derby matches over recent weeks on Sky Sports, and it's just such a shame that a great occasion for West Country football has been, you know, tainted by the ridiculous behaviour of a few morons. Well, quite a few of them, actually, not just a few.
But feelings do run very deep, you know, in that city, you know, and it's a very volatile situation there, you know, and you have to live within it to appreciate it. Both John and myself, you know, we lived in the city there, and there's always conflict there, you know, and it's a shame, and we don't need it, and it's an awful way to end the day, really.
There's no reason for that kind of behaviour, Russell, is there at all?
None whatsoever.
Whatever.
OK, let's get more reaction now from Ashton Gate. Joe Jordan, Bristol City's manager on his birthday, is with George Gavin.
Joe, sadly, more about what happened after the game than what happened during it, but disgraceful scenes at Ashton Gate.
Well, towards the end of the game as well, I think that's overtaken all events, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know what you can say. There's nothing you can... there's no argument you can come up. I mean, we've got an opportunity here after quite a number of years to put on a display. The match was a typical derby game, but unfortunately the events have been overtaken by what happened towards the end of the game and after it. It's disgraceful.
There's a helicopter overhead now, I understand, sorting out one or two problems maybe outside the ground, which is outside your jurisdiction, really, isn't it? But what can you do?
I don't know who's control it, Commander. I mean, each individual who's been involved in that today has really got to have a look at themselves. But as I say, we have an opportunity here in Bristol in the West Country to put on a display, and I'm afraid a lot of people have let us down today.
I saw Ian Holloway come up to you and ask you to do something, but there's not much you can do personally, is there?
I don't think there's much anyone can do, whether it's Ian Holloway's in charge or I'm in charge of my team. I think individuals, as I say, they've got to really look at what they have done today. If they've taken part in this disgraceful scene out here, it's something that they'll regret for a long, long time.
Do you expect an FA investigation, Joe?
Well, I don't know. At this moment in time, it's difficult to actually comprehend what's going to happen.
OK, let's talk about the game, because you know, you were in position for 3 points for so long until probably the sending off turned the game for you, Joe.
Well, we had opportunities in the first half to be more than 1-0 up, and I spoke at half time saying it was a spell there, but Rovers came into the game for about 10 or 15 minutes without really putting us under any pressure, but they had possession in the middle of the park. Second half, again, we had opportunities to increase our lead. We never failed to do that, we never did that, and it's proved to our cost. The sending off, naturally when you go down to 10 men it is difficult, but even still at that point we weren't under any great threat. Beadles had a header 2 or 3 minutes before they got the goal, but for all their play, all the territorial advantages that they had, they never really had a chance, and it's a hard one to take when it comes so late in the game, but it just shows you've got to stick the ball in the net when you get the chances.
Joe, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
So 1-1 it finished at Ashton Gate. Joe, Jordan obviously shocked and dismayed really, boys, at what's happened at the end of that match. Totally ruined the afternoon for me. I don't know about you.
Well, I think he's as disappointed as most of us, probably particularly more so. It's his football club, and he'll take certain responsibilities as being the manager of that. But I know for a fact that, as Russell has already said, that Bristol City have taken great steps to try and avoid those kind of things.
John, Russell, I hope we see you in happier circumstances next time. Thank you for coming in. It finished 1-1 on the pitch. It was a great game, but it's been ruined by trouble that will continue to make news throughout the evening. From all of us, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.